Hi guys, it's Alice. Welcome to an UpCycle Thursday. I've been away a little bit on doing UpCycle Thursdays and Thrifty Tuesdays, just trying to catch up. Have been doing some gardening and stuff like that. So here's a video. So much due, right? So this is actually for a swap that I signed myself up for Your Paper Pantry, and Steffi's hosting this one. And so it's gonna be upcycling some bottle tops, and all I did was I used, because I have that like a metal platform, because I do a lot of like little stamping here and there, metal stamping. So I already had that and my mallet, so I just used that. But if you don't have one of those, what I was using to smash down the bottle cap, you can just go ahead and put it, like go outside to your cement or wherever you have, like maybe in the garage or something, and smash it there. It'll work just fine. And so what I'm going to use are Ranger metal paints. Those work really good. I love them. I've done other items with them and it stays really nice. So I'm just going to ink all of these metal pieces up right here, and I'm just going to mix it pretty much. So this is pretty much just the process of me doing this. I'll be quiet for a little bit, of course you can see the process. Just using like my toothpick, of course, to mix the colors around. I really didn't want anything uniform. The theme is vintage grungy, so that's kind of the effect I'm going for. I'm using like the darker greens, the darker browns, and of course some of that teal color, and of course some white to make the colors come out a bit more. I was just trying to get a close-up so you can see pretty much the color. That one I already did, and then I'll show you how I used my crocodile to make those holes. Now I just want to cover the back on that top right there, so I'm just being kind of very messy with it and painting it with my finger. I don't want it to look, you know, like I said, very uniform, very perfect. I want it to look very messy, very vintage, very rough on the edges is what I'm going for. And I think we are supposed to make 3, but I ended up making, I think, like 5. And of course one of them you'll see right now, I made especially for Steffi, because I used an initial right in the middle, her initial, the S, and you'll see that'll be coming up. And again, just mixing in the colors. That's what I'm doing for Steffi. I'm gonna keep it very white. Not really grungy, I guess, but more on the vintage look. You'll see right now how it turns out, of course. Okay, so right here I'm using my graphic 45 little images that I've had. I did another swap. Linda was actually, the podcast was hosting that. I think it's an artsy fartsy ticket swap, and she sent me a little bag of goodies that said thank you, and it was a baggies full of graphic 45 images and really pretty images, and so I chose some of those images to put on here, and it kind of worked out really nice. And right there I'm just using the dimensional Mod Podge, and what I used to put the images down was glossy accent. Then I'm coming back on top with the Mod Podge, and whenever I get holes when I'm doing my Mod Podge, I mean holes, bubbles, I use the needle to pop the needles, and I mean the holes, the bubbles, okay, sorry, the bubbles off, and that works fine. And so I didn't get to record myself doing all of them, but that's what they ended up looking like. And then right here I'm using the crocodile, and I'm using it on the 1/8, 1/8, so it's the 1/8 hole punch, and I'm just punching them on the top and the bottom. And some of the metal didn't get popped out completely on the back, so all you have to do is get your pliers and just snip it off, any little pliers that you have, and it just snips off easily. I want them to look kind of very clean on the circles, so I'm getting some mini eyelets. These actually are from a garage sale find, a thrift find at it was during the summer actually, and they're Stampin' Up eyelets that I'm using on some of these, and on some other ones I'm using the Recollection also. But I'm pretty sure you could find these. I think I got those at Michael's, and I really like that look. It just looks really neat, really nice, really finished. And right here I've already started ahead of myself before I started recording, doing some of these charms. So I'm just showing you a process of just a little bit. I'm just getting some of those pins. They're like beading pins, and they have like the flat head on the bottom so the bead won't slip out through. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm creating some charms, or I guess you would call it charms, yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dangle them from the bottom part of this bottle top. And so I'm just picking some silver tone, some white. I picked up some moonstone because of course the moon face, and just using my pliers, bending them to make a loop. And I made some of these double looped so they can dangle, one dangle from another. And just preparing that. That's what I'm doing here. And it's a lot easier if you have them all prepared ahead of time, and then you just start building onto your charms. It could be, you know, used as a charm or a keychain. So, and that one with the initial S, that one's for Steffi. And see, that one's not too grungy, but it's more vintage, kind of shabby chic look. I just wanted to make her something different. And then just getting a larger jump ring, opening that up and just placing that on the top, and putting the, like you can put the key chain that I think is like a ball chain to make it into a keychain or a charm, like some women kind of clip on the charms on the purses or anywhere you like, really. Okay, so I think I'm going to put some music here, and then I'll continue talking after the music, because right here it's pretty much the same. I'm just going to continue building onto each bottle cap. Okay, so this is pretty much the last one I'm finishing up, and here are the results. I hope you enjoyed this video process, and I'll be back with more videos. Bye!